Relax, everyone. Relax. Thank you so much for being here, for showing up today on the show. Hey, we're going to start with a Throwback Thursday because I want to make sure that Ben gets to see his photo right away. This is Ben Longoria, longtime friend of mine from San Antonio, an amazing author, a superhuman who was on the show in many times, but the last time was in 2022 on the Richard Wilmore show. And he's just a huge supporter of this show. He's always sharing it and commenting and love things. And so I came across that photo and wanted to throw that up for him to say, hi, Ben, I love you. And I hope you're doing well. And check out his books. He's a slew of books. I should have grabbed some here from the bookshelf over there, but he's an amazing person. We'll probably get him back on the show again. Let's see what is happening. Tonight I get to go see Will Burkhart, comedian. You've probably seen him on TikTok. He does a lot of like crowd work stuff on TikTok, and he's so funny. And so we get to go see him at the Comedy Zone tonight. So I'm so excited. I'm staying up past my bedtime for him, so I hope he appreciates that. And I'll tell you all about it tomorrow. I love comedy, live theater. This Charlotte area has a ton of it, and I'm so excited that I get to go to it every once in a while. It's the 233rd episode of this show, and that only means one thing. We've had 232 episodes of views and downloads, and we should look at how many we have accumulated in 232 shows. Drum roll, please. 352,710. Thank you to everybody who watches this show, who shares it, who just loves the show. I love getting the messages about how much you'll like every episode. And we have another good one today, so that's also great. If you want to support the show so we continue to do this, it's a lot of work that goes into this, but I love it. Buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/makeyourdayricher, and we'll continue to bring shows to you Monday through Friday. All right, that's it. We have a great show. Joining us today is a guest who faced a devastating setback at the height of his athletic career and used it as a catalyst for incredible personal growth. Cam F. Awesome was kicked off the 2012 Olympic team, but instead of giving up, he focused on rewiring how he spoke to himself and building unwavering resilience. He shares a powerful journey and insights in his book, Becoming Awesome: How to Make Success Inevitable. Now, Cam speaks full-time using his story, humor, and honesty to help audiences develop a championship mindset in life, school, and business, and sports, and everything else, really, just life in general. Let's start the show.
Make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door.
Well, Cam, good morning.
Good morning, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you for being here. I feel like you're going to be one of those people where this could be like a Barbara Walters special and go on for 4 hours because you've done so much. I have so many questions for you, so we'll see how many we can cram in the next 10 minutes of your life.
Okay, well, just so you know, I'm kid-free today, so.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good. Okay,
I
want
also
to start.
don't have any children.
Good. That's what I say. So we're going to give your book away later to our non-existent studio audience. Yes.
You like Oprah out there.
Yes, exactly. On a budget, on a strict budget. But I want to talk about your name first. Where did that come from? And is that your real name?
It's legally my real name. On my birth certificate, it's just the letter F. It's up for assumptions, but you know what's up.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. How did that come about?
I so I started. It was like a quarter life crisis, if that makes sense. I lost my identity after I got kicked off the Olympic team, and like all started in I got beat up by a girl in high school, right? And then decided to join the boxing gym. And I didn't really get beat up by a girl, but that's what people said. A girl hit me, I'm not going to hit a girl back. So in high school, I was the guy who got beat up by the girl.
Uh-huh.
So decided to join a boxing gym because I figured if I looked like a boxer, people would leave me alone. And I worked out really hard because I thought the harder I worked out, the faster I'd be safe. Uh, there's a 6 mile walk to the gym every day, and I didn't have music. This is like before iPods were out, but they were dumb expensive.
Yeah.
So I just like walked with my thoughts like a psychopath. And I made up stories, and in all these stories, and I wasn't some clairvoyant. I just in these stories, I was just winning all the time. I was the best, bro. I was kicking butt. I was knocking people out. I had all the money, all the cars, all the jewelry. None of it was true. But the more highly I spoke about myself at the gym, on the way to the gym, the better I did in sparring.
Oh wow.
And the better I did in the sparring, the more excited I was to take a 3 hour walk the next day. So basically, for 15 hours a day, I was patting myself on the back, telling myself how amazing I was. And the pendulum swung from being this unconfident, awkward teenager to within 2 years, I won nationals and became the number one heavyweight in the country and was cocky. Like the pendulum really swung.
That
Uh,
swung. Oh yes, very quickly.
and swung. And but I realized like whatever I told myself came true. Like I just told myself I was amazing all the time. I won all the time. I was the best. It annoyed people, but because winning became so easy, I started wearing capes because I love superheroes and professional wrestling. And I would do dances in the ring, and then I would win nationals, which no one liked that I won because I was like that. And then I won the 2012 Olympic trials, left the country to fight in Azerbaijan, a place I've been 3 times but still can't spell without spell check, and forgot to tell the drug testing agency. And they showed up to my house to give me a random drug test, wasn't there, missed drug test, positive drug test.
Mm.
I was suspended for a positive drug test, even though I tested negative in the tournament to compete in Azerbaijan that same week.
What does that do to your like? That was your whole world. Like, what does that do to you?
I was first I was like, oh, there's no way this could be true. And then it turned out it was true. And I lost all my sponsorships immediately, which was the house I lived in, the car I drove, the food I ate. Like I lost everything immediately, and I had to sleep on my front couch. And I dropped out of college for boxing. I didn't really go to college. I just used up some FAFSA money. I heard you
Uh-huh.
get $200 in like for books. So like turns out you had
Yeah.
like
So.
$1,700, and
Mhm.
I just used that to pay rent. So after 2 semesters, they're like, "Hey, don't come back." Sure. So 2012 happens. I'm suspended. I'm depressed. I'm like, I have to continue boxing. I have no discernible skills, and I was trying to get back in shape and get to the gym, and I couldn't lose. I couldn't lose the weight I gained, and I didn't even realize I gained weight. You know how you never realize that you got taller
Well, I'm short, but I do know. So I don't know that at all. But I do
as
know
a
the weight
child?
gain thing. Yes.
Yeah, like you don't realize you're getting taller. You don't realize you gain
Yeah.
weight, and I gained like 60 pounds from drinking and depression. Side note: this, yeah, it wasn't really a real offense. It was after Lance Armstrong won Oprah, and the drug excise. This was back then. They cracked down on a bunch of athletes as one of them,
Hmm.
and I couldn't get myself back going in the gym, and I was beating myself up all the time. And one day I was just like, "You fat idiot, you loser! How'd you get yourself here?" And I was like, "Oh, this is so different the way
Mm.
I used to talk to myself while walking to the gym."
Wow.
And I realized like we all tell ourselves a story. Like what character you play in that story?
Yeah.
And I realized when I was walking to the gym, I played this character that was a winner, that was supposed to win, that wasn't a victim, that handled his business. And then I kind of walked in that power. And then I got kicked off the Olympic team. I'm like, you fat, lazy piece of crap. And then I was behaving like a fat, lazy piece of crap. And I was like, oh,
Hmm.
what would it look like if I completely changed my attitude about myself? Also, I read all of the comments, which really, I wish there was even more comments. I wasn't happy with the bad comments, but at least people were commenting and I read them. And one of the big comments was because I was the guy who wore the cape and danced in the ring was, I bet he's humble now.
Uh,
Yeah, I didn't like that.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's like kick me when I'm down, kind of, huh?
Yeah. So I looked up the definition of humble. Uh, if you ever have time, do it. It's crazy. It's having or showing a low or modest estimate of one's own importance. The Latin root word is lowly, and I was like, wait, if I'm if I'm now humble and I'm lowly, I'm performing lowly. When I wasn't humble and I was speaking highly about myself, so I was like, well, the opposite of lowly is thinking highly of myself.
Hmm.
So I'm going to legally change my last name to Awesome and double down on believing in me.
Did people go? Did your friends, your family go? What are you doing? Or this is amazing.
Uh, I've always been a ridiculous human being. Like
So they're used to you.
everyone understood who I was. I had a what because everyone knows who I am. All my friends. So I was born August 16th, 1988. My after birthday party because I called changing my name my after birthday,
Uh
and
huh.
I had an after birthday party, and that was February 16th on my half birthday. So I celebrate both of them.
That's
More
so
reasons to
funny.
party.
Yes, of course, of course. Um, if people like, some people are probably like, Cam, I don't have 16 hours a day to sit here and talk myself up to become that. Is that kind of where the thought for your book becoming awesome came from?
Yeah, in the book I kind of break down the formula of like self belief plus hard work equals goals, and the importance of removing your emotions from that equation.
Mm,
If you have a goal and you have feelings, sometimes they get in the way of each other.
yeah.
And and we live in we live in America. We have electricity. A lot of us are running water. It is so great. We don't realize that how great we have it.
Yeah.
Even having emotions or like processing your feelings is a privilege. Sometimes you don't get a privilege on the way to your goals. So in
Mm,
2012, even when I was, so the whole idea of the book is if you can fail without being discouraged, success becomes inevitable. We don't quit when we fail because failing is how we learn. We quit when we get discouraged. And a lot of us get discouraged before we start, so we don't. So this book just basically explains to people how to kind of break themselves out of their funk and set bigger goals themselves. And if you set ridiculously big goals, like so big that you pretty much have to fail, you're going to surpass your original goal on your way there. So let's say your goal was you wanted to make $100,000 a year, right? You would do all of the things it would take to get to $100,000 a year, but you're likely going to get to about 65,000 a year and fall short. We
and
usually
then it's
get to 60,
and then it's a failure.
then it's a failure.
Yeah.
You could set your goal for $1 million a year. Then you can find out the actions you take to get to a million, and there is actions because you could do it. And when you fall short at 600,000, you're still like a 1,000% above your original goal. So for
Hmm.
me, my goal was the Olympics. That was like the $1 million a year goal. I qualified for Olympic trials. I won 3 Olympic trials. I've never actually gone to the Olympics. Something has always come up. Uh, so I failed my goal of going to the Olympics. I didn't get the $1 million, but I ended about 600K, which meant I've won more boxing matches than anyone else in the history of the sport, and I've won 12 national championships. All the way by just setting bigger goals than I'm supposed to and blind belief in myself.
Yeah, I mean, the Olympics, going to the Olympics, being in the Olympics seems like something that, I mean, who does that, right? Like the best of the best. As a normal person, you're sitting here like, I wouldn't even, do you apply on Indeed to go to the Olympics? Like, how do you even get there? So like the fact that, you can say like that you were even close to that. How does that like register in your brain? How do you keep it level that like you could have, but you didn't?
Oh, so yeah, 2012, I got kicked off the Olympic team.
Hmm.
Then changed my name, came back to boxing, and Netflix did a documentary on me, followed me around for 3 years. So it's pretty dramatic. Like, oh, what are you interviewing for? And people are asking, hey, are you famous? I'm not. I'm just the guy who didn't go to the Olympics. And and then I won the 2016 Olympic trials, and then lost an international competition and didn't get to go to Rio, which was like we did a whole bunch of that Netflix stuff. And the ending, spoiler alert, I don't die at the end, but I don't get to go to the games. And then I lived in my van for 3 years after that, trying to figure out life and building my speaking business. I would speak at schools around the country about confidence and bullying. Wisely got involved in boxing, and like all the students, the only question they had was like, "Are you going to do the 2020 games?" I'm like, "I have a job now, and I live in a van." But I signed up for Team USA for my dad's country, Trinidad and Tobago, because Team USA wouldn't let me compete for them if I had a speaking business. Uh, and then so I qualified for I filed for dual citizenship, became dual citizen for Trinidad, fought in the Olympic trials, won, and then they didn't send a team because of the pandemic. So I also didn't get to go to in 2020.
That feels like one of those things where it's like I kind of go through that sometimes in doing this show all by myself. Like something happens, a tech thing happens, and I'm like, like it feels like two steps forward or one step forward, two steps back. How do you keep from being discouraged like that? And you keep going, you keep talking. Is that part of it? Is like you keep talking to yourself and other people to kind of keep yourself motivated?
Oh yeah, so I'm very. I used to hear like hippy dippy people be like, "Protect your energy," and that was always weird to me. But I'm very big on who I let around me and who I spend time with. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, that was me protecting my energy. And now as I get older, I'm seeing it in that way. I'm around a lot of positive people and I identify as a positive person. I carry myself in that way for the people around me. So if someone tells me they have a goal, I write it down on my phone and halfway to the goal, I'll text them like, yo, how's your goal doing?
Mm,
I want to be that person for other people because then it holds you accountable. So
yeah.
if you're known as the person who's always late and people expect you to be late all the time and you're running a little bit late, you don't sweat it. But if you get a new group of friends, which turns out you can do anytime you want, there's
Mm-hmm.
billions of people out here. Introduce yourself to your group of friends like, oh, sorry, I'm just a little bit anal on time. I'm always early. They'll look at you as the early person and it will force you to walk into that role. So the whole idea of like being early, I am that with like being positive. And the thing is about being positive, we all have a negative person in our life, right? I'm sure you do. Think of a negative
Yeah.
person in your
Yeah.
life, right?
Yeah.
You got
Sometimes
them.
it's yourself. Yeah.
So and that's what I'm going to is like that negative person. Do they think they're negative?
Yeah. Usually not. They don't even realize.
How do we know that's not us?
Yeah. Oof.
So my whole thing is the idea of not being discouraged is bringing positive things in your life. Why are you living? Don't kill yourself. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like, what's your reason for existing? What
Mm-hmm.
brings you joy? Like, yes, you have to go to work. We don't like our jobs. Some of us don't like our jobs. We go, we do it. But after work, you have a window, whether it be a few hours. If you have kids, it might be less, or spend time with your kids. You had them. You might as well like them, right? But you have a window of stuff you don't have to do in work. That's the time you should be using to enjoy life, to do the things you love. And you don't even have to be good at that thing to do it. Like,
Good point. Yes. 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 I worked for an arts and health nonprofit for a long time, and we worked with adult patients in hospitals. And that was one of the things I was always telling people. You don't have to be a great painter. You don't have to know how to play the guitar. You just do it. Just do it for the fun of doing it. And like, imagine, like, I think Ellen DeGeneres had a joke a long time ago about like when adults stop playing tag with each other, and how much fun would it be to run up to someone on the street and go, tag, you're it, and run away and start playing with people, and what that would bring to humanity.
yeah, we lost the whole idea of play because
Yeah.
we were in such a rush in adolescence to have a bedtime and to pick out what we eat and what we wear. And then you turn 18 and you do all those things
Yeah.
forever.
Yes.
And then you forget you can go back and be playful.
Yeah.
And for me, the idea of changing my last name to Awesome, the putting the F in my name, it's like I didn't have to, but those are the things to me is just like playful. I'm a kid at heart and I'm like enjoy life in any way I can. Like when I don't, I get sad, bro. Like so I spent a lot of time trying to make my life better, just through intention. And you're muted for me, or you're frozen. So I'm just going to continue on talking because I'm not sure what else to do. I believe this is a live show. So, my book came out in 2017, and my book came out in 2017, or not 2017, 2021. It was right after the pandemic. Uh, Everyone was like, "Hey, Cam, you should write a book. You should write a book." And then I wrote a book, and I'm not sure why I wrote the book. So it turns out he does one of these interviews 5 days a week. Well, I'm talking right now. I'm not even sure if this is going to be recorded or if this is live, but uh, he disappeared. So it's just me in a TV box. Uh, this is, I guess I am a speaker, so I'll just continue to speak. Positive internal dialogue. That's something I'm working on. I did a gig in Memphis at City Current last week, and the bureau agency that booked me, they showed up with their agents, and which was great because they're of the speaking world and being a
Oh, you're
boxer.
back.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I never stopped talking. By the way, I just figured you
Oh
left.
my gosh.
Yeah.
I think my internet went out.
Yeah. It still said recording, so I just kept it going.
All right,
Uh,
great. Go for it.
yeah. So just talking about like releasing my book and what that process was like and the idea of positive internal dialogue. But yeah, you'll see it if you look back at
I'll
this.
rewatch it. I'll my own show.
And he's gone again. Okay, yeah.
I'm gone again.
Oh, you're back. You're back.
Okay, good, good. I want to know who you think or who should be reading the book. Like, who is the book for?
So the book is for anyone looking for a change in their life. So first of all, I'm a big fan of like meeting people for coffee because I'm a speaker. I go see other speakers. A guy will or a girl will get on stage, a woman will get on stage for an hour, tell you all this stuff about motivation, and never give you the real nuggets of information that you actually want. But I've learned if you sat that person down and said, "Hey, can we grab a cup of coffee?" and you pay for a $4 cup of coffee for that person, they will tell you how much they make, they will tell you how much they failed, and they will tell you what you should do next. Don't take all of their advice. That was what worked for them. Out of 100 things they tell you, just take one. Take 1% of what they give you and use that to make your life better. So for this, I meet people for coffee all of the time. I'm known as that guy because I'm not conventionally educated. So I like to meet people and I learn from their failures. I take
Mhm.
notes with everyone I meet. It's obsessive. And I avoid you. If you tell me to do anything in the notes, I'll do everything you say and I'll avoid you until I get everything done because I don't want you to think I wasted your time. That's how seriously I take this. Because I learned sitting down with a cup of coffee with a person can change the way you look at your life.
Yeah.
This book is my cup of coffee with you.
Hmm. Well, I have coffee right here. So here we go. Cheers.
Sweet.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Um, I also completely changing subjects. Want to talk about you being a vegan because I'm also vegan.
Oh, vegan gang. How long you been?
Yes. Gosh, 15, 16, 17 years, something like that.
Oh, yeah, you OG before hashtags when there's still a
Yeah.
pound sign.
Back when Boca only had one vegan burger. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Now they got a little ridiculous with it. Like, not everything should have buffalo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been since 2012.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Lost the
How do
bet.
you
Had to do it for 28 days.
and then just kept
But
it.
I started to see abs. It
Mm.
wasn't for the animals. It wasn't for the environment. I was like, "Oh, I got abs," and I'm just gonna keep doing this until I find a reason not to. That was my plan.
Cam got abs in 28 days. I'm going on 28 years and still have yet to see one. So maybe the fact
I
that
saw
I
the
know that
outline of
Oreos
them.
are vegan is probably not the best goal.
Yeah, that was one of the reasons why. So I lost the bet, and after the 28 days, I felt honestly, I saw outline of abs, but I felt better.
Yeah.
I didn't know any vegans other than the people I lost the bet to. I didn't really care. I don't care about it, but I was like, oh, I feel good. And if I find something I like, I'm not going to do it because some people think those people are annoying. So it's
Yeah.
like, oh, I'll just do this until I find a reason not to. It's not my identity. It's not whatever. Then I started to MC vegan festivals around the country. And I just basically introduced doctors and experts and speakers. And I learned a bunch of stuff I probably didn't want to know. And it was like I was finding more reasons to be and not to be. And then I found out about the environment. And then I have limited options. You have to plan your meals ahead of time. And if you plan your
Mhm.
meals, you save so much money and you eat so much healthier. And then there's this vegan explosion. Everyone started doing it. And now there's a burger everywhere and like this
Yeah.
vegan junk food. I did this to be healthy and limit my options, and that's gone.
Yeah, completely gone. Yes. Like now the goal is to figure out how companies can do that and make it just as bad as as regular food at this point.
And
Yeah.
they're doing it.
They're succeeding. Yes.
Yeah.
I want
Every
to
time I want to,
before oh yeah, go.
oh no, I was just gonna say, I want to complain about GMOs, but have you had cotton candy grapes?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
delish.
I know that's the problem. That's the problem. I know. It's good. The bad stuff is good.
Yeah, they're delicious.
Yeah. Yes. And do you do coaching?
I do. I do
A little bit?
speaking coaching,
Okay.
not boxing coaching. Uh, I don't think I don't think you'd ever be a good coach until you no longer think you have it.
Mm.
And I still think I have it. And ego gets in the way of becoming a good coach. So instead of me arguing with boxers in the gym and telling them how I would have done it, I'll just wait another 10 or 15 years before I decide to
Do
coach
it.
in boxing. But yeah, I do speaking coaching. I help people, specifically athletes. That's my passion. Because on the Olympic team, I was on it for almost 12 years. You only make $1,000 a month, and you can't really get a job because you travel too much.
Wow.
So all these athletes struggle. So what I was in a rare position where I lost my identity as an athlete and I realized the power of athlete privilege. Like I get on stages I don't deserve to be on. I get opportunities I shouldn't have had. I get indoors that I wouldn't have been welcomed otherwise, but I'm really good at it. The second I lost that, I lost all my sponsorships. I had to pay for gym memberships, bro. I was like,
Putting no
oh,
time. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, but I'm special. They're like, oh, you're not special anymore. You're not an athlete. So I
Mm.
lost my athlete privilege. And when I got back to boxing, I decided to not identify as an athlete anymore, but to identify as an entertainer. Athletes fall under that. So 2008, when I first won my first national championships, before you get in the ring, they gave you an interview thing. Weight, hometown, reach. The final question was, what are your goals inside and outside of the ring? People thought I was crazy. Also, on there, New Girl is listed as my favorite show. But on there, it asks your goal. And I was like, my goal is to be a good role model and to have my own TV show. 2008, everyone was getting their own reality shows. And I was like,
Mhm.
well, I'm the number one boxer in the country. I should get my own show. I had no interest in boxing. I just joined boxing to lose weight and like not be bullied. And like 2012, I got kicked off the Olympic team. I'm like, I traveled the world and I've done zero performing. So I started going to open mics and doing comedy. And since then, I just do speaking engagements and stand up comedy.
I love that. I could talk to you forever. What is the best way that people can connect with you and find out what you're up to?
Craigslist misconnections. No, I'm joking.
Good. I don't think that's a thing anymore. I think they took
CamFAustin.com.
that down.
Yeah, I used to check that. Never the city I was in because I travel a lot for work, but I always check it to see what weird people are up to. And then I
Mhm.
realized, oh, I'm also that weird person.
Yeah.
Never posted, but I always watched. But
Mhm.
you can find me at camfawesome.com or at camfawesome on all social media platforms because I'm not famous enough for anyone to take my name.
What do you love most about your life right now?
I get to make my own schedule.
Mm.
I block out my day until usually this was rare, but usually until 10 a.m. I have nothing on my schedule. So my mornings are usually filled with balcony time,
Mm.
coffee,
Mhm.
stretching, working out, and walks. So the earlier I wake up, the more time I have before 10 a.m.
Yeah.
and really just spending time with myself. I'm starting to like me.
It's not a bad thing, huh?
Yeah, I'm not too bad.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and Cam's so nice that he's giving a copy of his book, Becoming Awesome, to everybody in our non-existent studio audience. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all
Enough.
for being here. I appreciate it.
Oh, thanks for having me. Just one final message for your audience. We all tell ourselves stories, whether you're conscious of it or not.
Yeah.
Start taking inventory of the things you tell yourself. Start realizing how much you punish yourself when you make mistakes. Life is already hard enough. You don't need to be hard on yourself too.
Mm. This show always reminds me, and I have guests who like I completely needed my own life in that moment, and you are one of those people today. So I thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Cam F. Awesome, everyone. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back after this. Don't go away. Life is difficult. Are you feeling overwhelmed or like you could use a little support for your mental well being? Visit the Help Hub. It's the most comprehensive and inclusive free online destination for mental health resources, helpful tools, crisis hotlines, and supportive content. Just go to thehelphub.co to find the resources you need when you need them most. Unlike other resource pages, the Help Hub is divided into 16 different categories, ensuring that everyone in every community has access to the resources and support that matches their unique needs. Find the help you're looking for at thehelphub.co. All right, everyone, that's the show. Thank you so much for watching. Now is a good time to just share the show. Press that share button and be like, oh my gosh, you need to meet Cam F. Awesome. I'm going to buy his book right now. You should too. Can't wait for tomorrow's show. We'll see you tomorrow. Go make your day richer. Go make somebody else's day richer. You've made mine by watching this show, and I love you for it. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye-bye.